Over 100 companies moved their headquarters to Dallas-Fort Worth between 2018 and 2024. That's more than Austin and Houston combined. For decades, Houston powered Texas through oil, and Austin brought in tech startups, but today, Fort Worth is quietly becoming the other half of the state's new economic powerhouse. In this video, I'm going to break down why the entire DFW Metroplex is becoming the economic capital of Texas and what all this growth means for your next move right here in Fort Worth. Here's what most people get wrong about big cities in Texas. Each one has always had its corporate role, right? Houston was all about energy, oil and gas. That literally built that city. Austin was innovation, the tech hub and startup capital. Fort Worth and Dallas were just business and sometimes the Cowboys, kind of in the background, but I don't think that's true anymore. For years, people would say Houston was the biggest economy in Texas, and it was. Austin got all the headlines. During the pandemic, it was mostly because of Elon moving Tesla here. Then you had Oracle, they set up shop. But here's what's missed mostly with Fort Worth. The Fort Worth and the entire DFW metro area have been quietly building something much more powerful. It's not just one industry, it's a complete economic transformation. The shift didn't happen overnight, but it's accelerating fast. Understanding why DFW won that corporate relocation race reveals everything about where Texas is headed economically. Dallas-Fort Worth became the #1 destination in the entire United States for corporate headquarter relocations. The stats are incredible. Between 2018 to 2024, over 100 companies announced moves to North Texas. Compare that to Austin, which had 81 relocations during the same period. Houston had 31. DFW simply beat both of them. We aren't talking about small businesses either. We're talking about massive companies making huge commitments to our area. Charles Schwab moved its headquarters from San Francisco to Westlake in 2021. Goldman Sachs is building an 800,000 square foot campus in Dallas, which will bring over 5,000 employees. That campus topped out in November of 2025 at a total cost of $709 million. Toyota relocated its headquarters to Plano. Caterpillar moved from Deerfield, Illinois to Irving. McKesson moved from San Francisco to Las Colinas. These are all headquarters with thousands of employees making really good money, and they are buying homes. That completely transforms a lot of these neighborhoods, especially here on the west side of the Metroplex in Fort Worth and Tarrant County. In 2024, the business climate and access to consumer bases were the top reasons companies cited for relocation to Texas. It makes sense, right? Fort Worth sits right in the middle of the country, and you can reach pretty much any major market in the U.S. from here, especially with direct flights from the DFW International Airport. Plus, Texas has no state income tax, very low cost of doing business, and Fort Worth has the infrastructure to support massive corporate campuses. These companies are making multi-billion-dollar commitments, which means incredible job security and growth right here. The solid foundation of Fortune 500 headquarters sets up the infrastructure advantage that separates DFW from every other Texas city. This is where Fort Worth and Dallas leave Houston and Austin behind. This wasn't luck, it's logistics. A strategy built over decades. DFW Airport is a major factor. As of 2024, it was the third busiest airport in the world. It handled over 68,000 metric tons of international cargo in 2024. If you're a major company, you need to move goods and people, you need connectivity. DFW maintains robust partnerships with major cargo carriers like FedEx, UPS, and American Airlines Cargo. Fort Worth is also home to the Alliance Global Logistics Hub, which is a 9,600 acre inland port. DFW's central location in the U.S. allows for nonstop service to major cargo markets all around the world. You have major interstate connections running right through the heart of Fort Worth and Dallas. It's a no-brainer. Compare that to Austin. Austin is great for startups. Cool city, university town. It's got the young, hip vibe, but when you're talking about massive corporate operations, logistics, infrastructure, global connectivity, DFW wins hands down. Houston has the Port of Houston, but it's coastal and it's heavily tied to oil and gas. Fort Worth sits right in the middle of everything with endless room to build. I've been watching the development up here in Denton and Collin County, and these areas are absolutely exploding with master planned communities, corporate campuses, mixed use developments. There's space to grow here in a way that Austin and Houston just don't have anymore. The infrastructure advantage isn't abstract, it's operational efficiency, and it means you can actually live near work without sacrificing space or quality of life. This combination of logistics and livability directly feeds into why DFW built the most balanced economy in Texas. Here's what nobody tells you about why Fort Worth and DFW are really different. Houston and Austin are strong economies, but they are vulnerable in ways that we aren't. Houston still runs primarily on energy, oil and gas. Its economy, it's energy heavy, which makes it subject to oil price fluctuations. When oil prices are high, Houston booms. When they drop, Houston struggles. It's kind of a boom-bust cycle. Austin's driven by startups and tech. During the pandemic, Austin was the hottest market in the country, but now their economy is tech startup concentrated, which makes it vulnerable to venture capital and tech market volatility. We saw this in 22 and 2023 when tech companies started laying people off and venture capitalists dried up. Austin's growth came to a screeching halt. It slowed way down. Here in Fort Worth and Dallas, we have a wonderfully balanced economy across a huge range of sectors. Finance, defense contractors, home to major players like Lockheed Martin, Bell Textron, logistics, we got Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway, their headquarters is here, healthcare, companies like Alcon, JPS Health Network, Cook Children's, Texas Health Resource, major retail, tech, corporate services. This diversification makes us stable and less vulnerable to downturns in any single sector. When one sector has a downturn, the others keep the economy moving ahead. The balanced economy is great for stability, and it's also great for you. When tech crashes or oil drops, Fort Worth keeps moving. That directly impacts the housing market we're about to jump into. Where the economy goes, housing follows. This is exactly what I'm seeing every single day. Corporate relocations mean buyers with purchasing power. When Goldman Sachs brings 5,000 employees, they need a place to live. When Charles Schwab moves thousands of employees from San Francisco, those people are buying homes in nice areas. Because Fort Worth and DFW are more accessible than San Francisco, New York, or even Austin in some cases, these buyers have serious purchasing power. Right now, the median sales price in Fort Worth is about $321,000 as of third quarter last year. In the broader Tarrant County, the median price is around $350,000. While the Fort Worth market has seen more stability in price, with a minimal decline of 3.7 year over year in the average home value, what's significant is the inventory. The Fort Worth housing market is seeing about 58% of its homes selling below list price, with the median sale to list ratio sitting a little less than 1%. This means buyers have negotiating power. We've seen some buyers get as much as $20,000 in concessions that comes back to you as a buyer to help with closing costs or maybe in lieu of repairs. You can use that money towards a variety of things: closing costs, rate buy downs, anything else that will help you close on that property. The long-term story here is about stability and appreciation. Fort Worth, DFW, was named a top market for real estate moving into 2026. The DFW Metroplex has the second highest rate of new apartments being built in 2025 in the United States, only behind New York City. We're building to meet demand. which helps keep the market balanced. If you're closer to the job centers of Fort Worth, like where Lockheed Martin and Bell Textron are, or along the growth corridors of the suburbs, you're seeing better stability. Fort Worth remains one of the most resilient housing markets in the country. Forget the doom and gloom videos you see about market crash. You have to look at the hyper-local market. Areas in Fort Worth are showing strength and stability, which signals a strong and stable real estate market traditionally. This housing stability is backed by the massive economic foundation of the entire region. Here's the number that puts everything in perspective. The Dallas-Fort Worth Arlington Metro has a total GDP of around $844 billion as of September of 2025. The entire metro area ranks 5th among all U.S. metros for GDP in the entire country. What is even more impressive is that DFW had 3.2% real growth in 23, outpacing the U.S. average of 2.7. We're not just big, we're growing faster than the national average. Combine a growing population with a massive GDP and strong economic growth, and you get housing demand, business expansion, and infrastructure investment. If you're relocating, you're moving to one of the largest job markets in America. If you're investing, you're buying into a metro area that's outgrowing national averages. This foundation supports everything we're seeing with future development. If you think the growth is going to slow down, you'd be wrong. DFW Airport is always expanding, adding new gates, routes, capacity, and a whole new terminal. The airport is basically a city in itself and a massive economic driver for Fort Worth. So is the growth sustainable, or is Fort Worth just having a moment? Companies like Goldman Sachs don't spend hundreds of millions on a campus for a short-term play. These are strategic decisions based on decades of planning. Fort Worth and Dallas have positioned themselves as the most diversified, most connected, and most strategically located metro for corporate headquarters in the United States. I've lived here for almost 50 years. I work here, I invest here. I help families move here every single week. Every data point I see points to DFW continuing to dominate as the economic capital of Texas. We aren't just having a moment. We're writing the next chapter of the Texas economy. Understanding that distinction is crucial for anyone making decisions about where to live or invest. Here's the bottom line. Fort Worth built something sustainable through strategic growth. We have world-class infrastructure with endless room to expand. If you're thinking about moving to Fort Worth or investing where growth is actually happening, now is a really good time to explore that and at least get all your questions answered. Again, shoot me a text. The phone number is in the description below or on the screen, pinned in the comment. We would love to have a conversation about helping you with your next move. This is all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.